Hey everybody, I'm Jesse,
And I'm Adi.
and this is Road to the Expendables 4. Today, we're going to be talking about the Expendables Part 2. This film promised more blood, more action, more everything, and I feel like it did a pretty good job delivering that. One of my disappointments on the first part was that we didn't get to see enough Terry Crews. I love Terry. He's great. We've been watching a bunch of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so
Yeah.
it's like we're really on the Terry train right now. And this film finally gives us just a little bit more Terry, enough that it feels good.
He has more of a personality,
Yeah, more
more than one
character.
line.
We said this while we were watching the film. I don't know if we get his name mentioned in the first part. Maybe I wasn't paying attention enough.
Yeah, I don't
But
remember.
they said his name in the second part,
Yeah.
and we're like, his name is Caesar. But yeah, that was a nice addition to this film, along with everybody else was in it as well. We got Jean-Claude Van Damme, Chuck Norris makes a guest appearance. Arnold comes out in it again, and sadly, every time Arnold comes out, it's just a cameo. Like he's never in it full time, which is disappointing to me because I have this misconception that these posters are showing everybody who's gonna be in the film full time, and I see the poster lined up, and I'm like, wow, everybody who's on the poster is on the team, right? But that's not how it works. Some of these guys are just like part timers. Some of them are the villains, and so I'm like, why are y'all just putting the faces together and not making a more cohesive poster or something?
They just
seems
wanted
like
to take a group shot.
it
It's
just
the only
seems
picture they all have together.
yeah, but it just seems like there's nothing dynamic about the poster, so that's a different story. But yeah, overall the cast, it was a nice expansion to the cast. They brought on some really good people into it as well, so it was definitely uh, well warranted.
Yeah. Step up from the last movie.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Oh, and on top of that, they had just better choreography, better banter overall. Like the one-liners, the jokes, the things they were saying to each other, the interactions, the chemistry overall worked way better than the first part. Like they really, I think the budget jump was quite small. If I remember the numbers, it was 80 million from the first part to 100 on this one, which seems like a small jump, but if they invested on the writing or something, they did it right because they really upped their game on it. Like the jokes were actually funny and it wasn't just cheesy, corny, and so it was like like it was actually pretty funny. I was giggling half the time.
Had more of a storyline too.
Yeah, definitely much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. I also feel like this one had a way better storyline. It had more gravitas, is that the word? I don't know, more depth to it. They go on a bigger mission and there's more like high stakes, at least in my opinion. There's like a couple scenes where like, people could die in various different ways and then they avoid death narrowly. But I think they did a better job at creating like a more complete action movie than they did with the first part.
Yeah, much more well thought out world, better world building overall, as opposed to the first one that just felt kind of just like meh. This one also this is a pretty basic story if you think about it, but a little bit more thought out. The villain, in this case, Jean-Claude Van Damme, is much better and more. I actually feared him a little bit more than opposed to the villain in the first part. This film also included way better choreography. Again, I assume this is something they probably invested in as well, because Statham on his own had some really good action scenes.
Yeah.
Where we're just like, that looks really cool. And it finally ups it up, and it gets rid of that shaky cam from the first part. So you got cams that are just stationary, and you're seeing these punches land, as opposed to trying to fake it by creating a lot of shakiness in your camera and creating cuts over and over again to try and make it seem like there's action that's really not there. So choreography A+ on this one. They really took some good notes and learned from their first one and just perfected on that.
Yeah, I agree. There was definitely way better fighting scenes. There's like a part where Jason Statham is like in a church. I don't think this is a spoiler, but he's in a church and like he's like wearing like a cape thing. He's like doing things with his knives, and it looks like super cool and like way better than any of the other action scenes from the first movie.
Indeed, the first one just felt very low effort, which leads me to my next point. And after watching this film, it really solidified the idea that the first one was just a proof of concept to see if it would even work out in the first place. Because I feel like after they were like, all right, this film did pretty good, Let's put some more effort into this film and see where we can take it. And the ratings show it also, because after we watched it, I looked at the ratings. I was like, wow, this actually has some pretty good both critic and audience scores, which makes sense. This film was truly enjoyable, and I really liked it.
Yeah, I would rewatch this one.
Yeah, agreed. I definitely would rewatch this one as well. As a rating, I'd definitely go with a solid 7 out of 10 for this one. Huge step up. It's still not like the best action movie that's out there. It's just nice to see all these guys come together and just bro it out, which is the intention of these films. So, yeah, that was fun to see. Just have them all in one spot doing their thing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Still not the best movie I've ever seen, but I would watch this one again as opposed to the first part where it was just terrible and I did not even want to watch it at all. But I think they did a good job with the camera work, with the scenes, and with the script. So 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that too. Like, also, again, just basically every department at this point, but like camera work really a step up from the first one as well. Like, I feel like the first one was like they hired like some college intern, and the second one was like actually someone who knew what they were
They
doing.
got a better
So
camera.
yeah, definitely worth a watch as opposed to the first one. So if you've seen it, let us know what you think in the comments below.